Welcome back to The Deep Dive, your daily shortcut for UPSC Current Affairs. This is the first part for May 21st, 2025.
That's right.
We've got today's key updates lined up. And remember, we might touch on some topics we've covered before. Think of it as good revision.
Always helpful.
Today we're looking at everything from, well, financial rules to international affairs, even some environmental news. The goal, as always, is to pull out the core insights you need.
So shall we start with the RBI?
Let's do it. What's happening there?
Okay, so the Reserve Bank of India has issued revised draft guidelines. These are about investments made by regulated entities, REs, into alternative investment funds, or AIF.
You call REs. Those are the banks, NBFCs, the ones RBI keeps an eye on for stability compliance.
Exactly, and AIFs. They're basically privately pooled investment vehicles like hedge funds, private equity, venture capital, that sort of thing. Regulated by SEBI since 2012.
Right. Attracting high net worth individuals, institutions.
Precisely. And they come in three flavors, categories. Category 1 is for startups, SMEs, social ventures, infrastructure, early stage stuff.
Got it.
Category 2 is an I, or THIR, typically uses less leverage. Things like private equity funds, debt funds.
Okay.
And Category 3 is where you find the more complex strategies. More leverage hedge funds are a classic example.
So the RBI's new guidelines are about how much these banks and NBFCs can or should invest in these AIFs. Tightening things up, maybe?
It looks that way.
Yeah.
Regulating how the entities they supervise interact with these funds. It's about managing risk exposure, I suppose.
Makes sense. Okay, moving on. The OCI portal.
Yes, the Union Home Minister launched a new portal for overseas citizens of India.
Right. The OCI scheme itself dates back to 2005, doesn't it? An amendment to the Citizenship Act?
That's the one. It's for former Indian citizens, their descendants, minor kids of citizens or OCIs, even spouses after 2 years of marriage.
Well, there are exclusions, right? Citizens of Pakistan, Bangladesh.
Correct. Key exclusions there. But the benefits are significant lifelong visa, no need for police registration generally.
And treated like NRIs for most economic and educational things.
Largely, yes. But they can't hold political office, most government jobs, or buy agricultural land. And some activities like missionary work need special permission.
Okay, good clarification. Let's shift gears. Udanti Sitanadi Tiger Reserve. Good news there.
Seems like it. Camera traps are showing positive trends in wildlife activity. It's in Chhattisgarh, Garhia and Damtari districts.
And it was formed by merging two sanctuaries.
Yeah, Sitanadi and Udanti wildlife sanctuaries. It's also a really important corridor linking to the Indravati Tiger Reserve.
Crucial for animal movement. What kind of habitat is it?
It's got tropical peninsular sal forest and southern tropical dry deciduous mixed forest. Home to the wild buffalo, which is quite significant. Plus tigers, leopards, sloth bears.
Great to hear positive signs from there. Now, cybercrime, the E0FIR initiative.
Right, this was launched by the Indian Cybercrime Coordination Centre, I4C. It's a pilot in Delhi for now.
And the idea is
to automatically convert financial cyber fraud complaints over 10 lakh into FIRs. So if you report via the 1930 helpline or the National Cybercrime Reporting Portal.
it becomes a 0 FIR almost immediately.
Exactly. It gets registered at a central e-crime police station in Delhi, then routed to the local station where the crime actually happened or where the victim is. The victim then visits that local station, usually within 3 days, to get the regular FIR process going.
Speeding things up significantly then. The 0 FIR concept itself is useful to lodge it anywhere, regardless of jurisdiction, just to get the ball rolling fast.
Precisely. It integrates the NCRP, Delhi police systems, and the CCTNS database.
Okay, let's talk trade. DGFT and gold-silver imports.
Yes, the Directorate General of Foreign Trade, part of the Ministry of Commerce and Industry, updated the import policy.
DGFT handles the foreign trade policy, right? Used to be the chief controller of imports and exports.
That's it. Post-liberalization, more of a facilitator. This update likely involves aligning customs tariffs and regulations for importing gold and silver. Just keeping things current.
Understood. And sticking with finance, SEBI, and market infrastructure institutions.
SEBI's released new guidelines for the internal audit mechanisms at MIIs.
MIIs being the core infrastructure, stock exchanges, clearing corporations, depositories.
Exactly. The absolute backbone for trading, essential for the economy. They even act as first-line regulators in some ways.
With SEBI as the main overseer, so these new guidelines focus on strengthening their internal checks and balances.
Yes, beefing up internal audits, the role and composition of audit committees. It's all about robust governance for market integrity.
Important stuff. Now for something completely different, Nineveh. An archaeological find.
Yes, in northern Mesopotamia, what's now Mosul in Iraq, archaeologists found parts of a monumental relief.
Nineveh. That was the capital of the Assyrian Empire, wasn't it, under Sennacherib?
That's right, a major city. This discovery seems related to King Assurbanipal, the last great Assyrian ruler, maybe depicting him with deities.
Wow. Provides more insight into that ancient power before its fall to the Babylonians and Medes around 612 BCE.
Absolutely. Finds like these are invaluable.
Okay, back to India. Mullaperiyar Dam issue.
The Supreme Court has stepped in again, directing Tamil Nadu and Kerala to resolve ongoing issues with expert assistance.
This is the old dam in Kerala on the Periyar River, but operated by Tamil Nadu.
Yes, a masonry gravity dam completed way back in 1895 by the British. It diverts water to Tamil Nadu for irrigation power.
But Kerala has safety concerns because it's so old and in their territory. It's a long-running dispute.
A very long-running one. The structure safety is the core issue.
Right. And NIA arrests in Manipur.
Yes, the National Investigation Agency made arrests linked to the violence there. NIA is India's main counterterrorism agency, set up after the 2008 Mumbai attacks.
And they have nationwide jurisdiction, can investigate specific scheduled offenses.
Correct. They can take up cases across India and even some with international links if ordered by the central government. This action shows their role in internal security matters.
Okay. Finally, something global, new QR codes from GS1.
Yes, GS1, they're the global standards body, famous for barcodes, announced a plan for new generation QR codes, global implementation by 2027.
What's new about them? More data.
A lot more data capacity than the old 1D barcodes. These are 2D codes. They promise better traceability, real-time inventory checks, more info for consumers.
So, like, you could scan a product and get much more detail than just the price?
Exactly. Origin, ingredients, sustainability info, you name it. They're planning a transition period with both old barcodes and new QR codes on products for a while.
Interesting. That seems like a significant shift in supply chains and consumer interaction.
It definitely could be. These updates today, they really span a wide range, don't they? Finance, security, tech, environment.
They certainly do. A lot to keep track of.
Reflects the complexity of governance today.
Absolutely. Well, that wraps up our deep dive for this session. A quick run through some key current affairs for your UPSC journey.
From AIF regulations to global QR codes.
We covered a fair bit. We hope this breakdown was useful. If you found it helpful, please do like and subscribe for more analysis to help your preparation.
Keep up the hard work and stay curious.
We'll be back with more tomorrow. Keep learning.